The important part about testing is definitely the test planning in itself. Currently, there are many types of testing that's being taken place. We want to narrow down to what you actually can handle. Okay, so we can never 100% test everything. We can never be 100% assured about the quality of the product. But what we should agree on with the users are actually what we can do with a given time frame. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is to understand the product that we're trying to test. Are we testing a toaster? Are we testing a refrigerator? And then, so what does it entail in the functionality of the refrigerator? These are the type of things that we actually have to put in the test cases. Just a regular use case of how to use a refrigerator. Okay, so now this is a new refrigerator. It has more new functionalities. It has ice making abilities. Okay, it has a temperature gauge. Okay, it has it could actually make ice cream by itself. So these are the new added functionalities. So we have to know that these are the new developments. The new developments are going to be different from previous developments, because previous developments we assume that the old refrigerator functionalities, such as freezing a meat, freezing the regular cold drinks, would be normal. But we still have to put those test cases there no matter what, because without those things, it wouldn't be a refrigerator. We cannot actually go on and use that product. Even though the revamp will have new functionalities such as ice cream making, ice making, those type of things, it still would be irrelevant. So those we actually always have to put in the regression test cases. Every single time we finish a cycle, we're going to have to test those. Okay, so let's talk about the new functionalities. The new functionalities has to be clearly written, because for the test management folks, they actually have to get the new test cases in. So the new test cases has to be churned from the testing requirements, the business use cases, the business requirements, the technical requirements. Those type of things are going to be helpful to actually make those things happen. Okay, so after that, then we have to write out the test cases. Okay, so we actually have to go step by step, making sure every single step has an expected result, because it's very hard to test something when you don't know how it is going to be working. You know what I'm saying? Just because I feel that rationally it should work like this, but however, it doesn't work like that. So that's the thing that has to be defined well. And these type of things should be signed off by the user, because if you have written all the test cases and then nobody audits it, and we're just going to throw it in there and I test and test and test. After 2 months later, I said I have done everything, but at the end, it's nothing that the user wanted. So the communication has to be there, while you're doing the testing, before you're doing the testing as well. So making sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and no manpower is being wasted. That is for sure. Okay. Now, let's move on to people management. So you're going to have testers and automated testers. How are you going to handle them? The thing is especially running with Agile nowadays, hopefully that we could use a lot of the automated test case. Every single time they finish a build, they're going to be running the regression test cases. So there'll be somebody pretty much running the refrigerator every single time. They'll be freezing the meats. There'll be a robot freezing the meats, taking it out, check out the temperature by itself. every single time every single time that so those will be the regression test cases, and also they should try to automate, the ice cream function. Let's say it's broken into pieces. Let's say there's going to be a case for the tray of putting in the material for ice cream, and there should be test cases for that, and and also an expected result, see if those things work. So it goes block by block by block. So eventually, towards the end, then you pretty much have done all the blocks. You pretty much have done all the functionalities. Now you actually go back and review all the things that you have done and make sure that everything works. And then there's the UAT thing, the user acceptance testing. Okay, so over there, before you actually get into the real UAT, you should actually make sure that your belt has all the functions that it's going to be required in the UAT. So you should rehearse the UAT. You know what I'm saying? The UAT test cases. If, let's say for example, the refrigerator this time will not be able to do the ice cream function. Now, if this is not a refrigerator that needs the ice cream function, okay? If it is a refrigerator that is not needed for that functionality, they still need to roll out a new product. You're gonna have to tell the users and say, look, we cannot actually roll this out. We have to disable the ice cream making function and shut it down, and the users actually will not see it. But even though sometimes we actually might have a module in behind, they might not know it, but we know it. So that's going to be called a partial sign-off. That most of the functionalities are going to be done, except for a specific field. And that happens all the time for projects. So there should be no surprises. You shouldn't be panicking. I mean, obviously, if it is completely your fault, if the project manager's fault, if the testing manager's fault, yes, then that is your fault. But otherwise, don't worry about it. It happens all the time with these lack of functionalities. That's okay. So we just have to put that ice cream functionality in the next project. So we'll have to push it to the next phrase, to the next project whenever they have a budget. So the budget actually is something that you cannot control either. It is a possible thing that your project manager has either messed up the budget or the budget has suddenly been crunched. So as a result, then things might change in the meanwhile. While that is actually happening, you have to adjust. Adjusting in what sense? Adjusting in the manpower you need to give, the quality that you actually can give, the time and the dates that you can actually provide, what can you actually sign up in the UAT. These are the type of things that you got to think about. And you actually have to remember that things have changed, the matrix have changed. And it is not your fault. It's not the company's fault. Just try to deal with the real situation. That's actually how you actually can become successful. Well, thank you very much. I'll see you later.